Hey guys, Jackie here with Crystal Threads and Channeled Messages from the Great Beings Within. Today we're going to start talking about brain versus heart and some emotions that derive from each, which does indeed impact communication. There is a certain essence that lingers after each word spoken. This essence is more or less palpable depending on the emotions expressed with it. These precious essences are also transmitted between the two of you when mere thoughts are projected. Oh yes, thoughts are nearly as solid as words spoken. They do matter, and this essence we speak of is also formed with pure emotions alone, though most emotions form with thoughts, unless of course they are in the pure form of love, which often finds no words at all. True love's purity extends beyond the limiting capacity of words or thoughts and is simply a pure knowing straight from source alone. We do not allow this pure feeling through very often, as our minds constantly look for something to be wrong, and so we inevitably find that wrong thing we just knew was there all along, to take us out of our beautiful reverie and cast aside these beautiful and purely thoughtless feelings. How could we be so irresponsible and foolish to forget our logical mindset and get caught up in such a childish fantasy as this sort of pure form of love? Perhaps when we grow into our wisdom, and hopefully this doesn't take too long, we will discover that if we limit our mind's chatter to then listen to the deep wisdom of the heart, that is actually the secret, the missing puzzle piece, the greatest kept secret of life that perhaps Jesus himself was trying to teach. Maybe if we learn to differentiate between emotions caused by thinking processes and those coming from the heart, we would be much better off, and we would be in fact giving ourselves the option to live in heaven itself right now. Emotions created by pure logical thought are those we should monitor more closely and take with a grain of salt, rather than taking them as the best reasoning we've ever had. And we could instead focus on these love-derived emotions that feel very, very different. Now, this love-based emotion is not anything of what you may think we're talking of here. There is a specific frequency difference you must learn to recognize in an instant, for this recognition will save your life quite literally. It will allow you to notice when your ego has come out to play and when you are operating instead in Christ frequency. To become adept at feeling the difference between these types of emotions, you must become the observer of all highly emotional situations and start to notice how you feel, how your body reacts, how your mind triggers without judging the experience. Truly, you may find there is a lot going on in these instances which we are generally unconscious of. So, by becoming self-aware in these sometimes treacherous scenarios, you will begin to see where your ego has entrenched itself, masquerading as you. And when you know you're feeling the purity of heart-centered frequency, you will begin to sense what your true Christ identity is. The more you become aware of where your reactions come from, brain versus heart, you may then have the power to turn the tides within yourself, take back your kingdom, so you may indeed create the reality you would like to see come before you, rather than the unconscious hell that most of us create without noticing, as bystanders of our own lives.